If you feel offended by the truth I speak, then you are part of the problem we seek. I say everyone means those who agree, not the ones who take it personally. My take with T.R. Richardson. Say what others think but won't mention. Bold and raw, no filter applied. Join the conversation. Step inside. Think different.
This is T.R. Richardson, and this is my take. Hello to the quiet ones, the thinkers, the eye rollers who've been biting their tongues for years. Today's episode, Generation Bubble Wrap, the era where kids are so protected they need a helmet to open a Capri Sun. As I sit around reading the internet news, which is basically just a full-time job testing my blood pressure, it makes me realize something. Before I begin, I'm not talking about everyone, so if you get offended, congratulations, you just self-identified as part of the problem. The way I see it, today's kids are being raised softer than a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Weak mentally, physically, and emotionally. They can't problem solve their way out of a wet paper bag without a 5-star rated app. And the weirdos are suddenly running the board meetings. Back in the Gen X and Boomer eras, kids were raised like miniature adults being prepped for the apocalypse. Today's kids are bubble-wrapped indoors, while simultaneously being exposed to brain-melting internet hazards that warp their minds. Not a single one of them can sew a stitch, iron a shirt, fix a cabinet door, sharpen a lawnmower blade, or thread a needle without a 40-minute YouTube video, though they somehow know all about blue cups and 2 waffles. And yes, you know exactly what I mean. In the summer, we'd disappear at dawn and return when the streetlights flickered. No phones, no GPS tracking devices attached to our ankles. We rode bikes helmetless down steep hills like suicidal stuntmen, purely fueled by imagination and wild survival instincts. Today's kids are treated like glass figurines. We got gash-level bruises and actually bled. Our feelings got crushed, or the neighborhood crank yelled at us for being reckless idiots. Nobody called an ambulance over a scraped knee, and nobody sued the neighbor. Pain was just nature's way of teaching a lesson. If you had beef with someone, you met at the flagpole, threw a few terrible punches, worked it out, and ended up best friends 5 minutes later. Rejection was just a normal part of growing up. You got turned down, you sucked it up, and you moved on. Have you ever thought that the serial killers of the world might just be people who were never told no as a kid? Now, because kids grow up completely unaccustomed to hearing the word no, the second they face actual rejection, they can't handle it. And some might actually harm the rejecter just for telling them no. We swallowed discomfort and built immunity to anxiety. Now, if a task takes more than 2 seconds or requires mild physical exertion, it's labeled an unconstitutional trauma. We memorized 40 phone numbers, addresses, and full-color road maps. We trekked to the library and mined encyclopedias. If you forgot who sang that one rock track, you had to lie awake in the dark for 3 days, forcing your brain cells to recall it. We had working attention spans. We could sit through a 3-hour movie or a full school class without needing a Subway Surfer video playing in the corner of our vision. Today's kids drop into a catatonic state after 30 seconds without flashing neon lights. When we complained about being bored, Mom gave us the ultimate ultimatum. I'll give you something to clean, or if you're bored, you're boring. Panicked, we immediately invented games involving stick fights to entertain ourselves. Now, kids get an iPad strapped to their faces on full autopilot. We had basic survival instincts: how to boil an egg, change a flat tire, and navigate reality. Now blowing a tire triggers a full midlife crisis and a panic attack. We're actually telling kids it's totally normal to flip their gender on a whim because gender isn't a thing. Politics is being worshipped like a religion, and having an original thought gets you burned at the stake. We knew how to fix things, sew buttons, iron clothes, cook meals without setting off the smoke alarm, and look humans in the eye. Life demanded it. Today's generation has terminal life dependency. They need DoorDash to eat, Uber to move 3 blocks, Google Maps to find their own backyard, and a screen just to say, hello. We accidentally smashed a neighbor's window with a baseball and spent the entire summer pulling weeds to pay for the glass. We wrote in cursive and actually solved problems instead of crying about them. We hauled groceries without being asked. You never saw a parent doing physical labor while the kid sat on the couch like a Roman emperor scrolling TikTok. We earned our pocket change, mowing lawns, shoveling driveways, babysitting chaotic toddlers. Today's kids expect a weekly allowance just for successfully breathing. It was yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. We didn't swear near adults unless we wanted our mouths washed out with soap. Pants stayed at the waist, stomachs were covered, and underwear stayed strictly private. We learned how to give a real, firm handshake. That meant something. A handshake was a binding contract, and you immediately knew what kind of person you were dealing with, depending on the type of shake they gave you. We respected authority instead of acting like basic manners were a human rights violation. If you threw a meltdown in the grocery store, Mom gave you the 1-2 glare, and you straightened up before the 3 hit your ears. Or you got a quick swat and nobody called SWAT on her. Today, it's endless excuses, shifting blame, and my delicate feelings were hurt. We had hard bedtimes, rigid schedules, and real-world activities. Now, kids have unmonitored dark web-level internet access, meeting total strangers, and watching hyper-violent media before their brains even know what they're looking at. Meanwhile, teachers get scolded for doing their jobs, while students literally commandeer the school hallways. We practice the sacred art of minding our own business. It's none ya business, or simply none ya. Household drama stayed behind closed doors, not broadcasted in 4K for clout and internet validation from strangers. And WTF is up with the endless filters and photoshopping on countless selfies? No wonder self-esteem is at an all-time low and nobody knows who they are anymore, because the picture doesn't even look like the actual human being. Love thyself isn't some weird internet porn term. It's a real-world value that has been totally lost, because everyone is demanding to be plastic, airbrushed versions instead of their real, true, beautiful, unique, one-of-a-kind selves. We knew the entire block, played street hockey, and hung out outdoors. Now everyone is isolated in dark bedrooms, staring into lit rectangles. We lived in the actual physical world. Kids today live in fake, algorithmically curated pixel fantasies. And let me add a few more things while I'm at it. We are over-inoculating and over-medicating our children because of made-up diagnoses, dreamed up by Big Pharma, I'm sure, a DHD, ADJS, ABCD, XYZ. Half of these could be cured instantly if kids were forced to run outside until they're tired and get some natural vitamin D from the actual sun. We lived outside until our skin turned brown. Today's kids are translucent indoor cave dwellers glued to monitors. We had actual friends who showed up at our house, not digital followers in a cloud. We were built out of concrete and grit, not fine china. We solved problems instead of hyperventilating, and most importantly, we operated in reality. Generations before had grit. Today's kids have gadgets, and the side-by-side comparison is terrifying. Parenting wasn't perfect back then, and we were far from angels. But we were forged into critical thinkers who could hit a bump in the road without needing a support animal. It's time to pull the digital pacifier out of their mouths, stop coddling every micro-emotion, throw away the fake filters and pill bottles, and start teaching real responsibility again. For gosh sakes, put down the freaking phones and go eat some dirt. If you enjoyed my take, please like and subscribe. Forward to some others out there that may think they are alone. They are not. We are still the majority. We just have to stop being silent. See you next time.